Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Fabulist, the lying, hustling, grifting, stealing, and very American legend of George Santos, by Mark Chiusano, read by André Santana. For Charlotte. You two greenhorns. Money, you think, is the sole motive to pains and hazard, deception and deviltry in this world? How much money did the devil make by gulling Eve? Herman Melville, the confidence man. He said out loud and by himself, "I'm very intelligent. I'll end up a congressman." Clarice Lispector, The Hour of the Star. Author's note. Talking to George Santos. The first time I spoke to George Santos was by phone in November 2019, 3 years before his brush with infamy. It was for a routine political write-up about this little-known Republican newcomer making a long-shot bid for Congress in New York. There was very little to suggest that he could win, and Santos ended up losing solidly to the Democratic incumbent in that first run. But a few impressions stuck out even in that inaugural conversation. He was practiced at papering over mistakes or inconsistencies with excuses. In rapid succession, he let slip both that he was in Florida for a work conference as we talked, and also that today, that exact day, the day of our phone call, should be considered the official launch of his campaign. Why was he launching his campaign for a New York district from Florida? I asked. He explained that there had been a slight bit of miscommunication with his lovely team about his travels. He was in the Sunshine State only for the night, and he'd be back home the next day. He was already getting dexterous with the political lingo of immigration and guns and taxes. He was happy to stretch himself ideologically to have things both ways. But beneath the talking points, he also exuded an intense and deeply personal fixation on status, arguing that nothing was handed to him, this first-generation American, his phrase, born and raised in New York to Brazilian immigrant parents. He told me defiantly that he had been able to grow and advance on his own merits. About his business life, he claimed, falsely, that he had worked in private equity for his entire professional career, but that he was not a 1%er. Rather, I work for the 1%. Later, he would launch scheme after scheme in an attempt to bring in serious 1% money. He'd brag about buying an Hermes bag and he'd drive a Mercedes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?